Today we're diving into one of the most fundamental tuning tools in archery, the bow square. Archery is a game of repeatability. If your setup isn't consistent, your results won't be either. That's where the bow square comes in. It's a simple tool, but it gives you fixed, measurable reference points from the string, and that's critical when you want to tune, troubleshoot or rebuild your setup with precision. In this video, we'll cover what a bow square actually does, the differences between the T-type and L-type, and how to perform the key measurements step by step. At its core, a bow square is a measuring tool specifically designed for bows. It creates a fixed, perpendicular reference point from the string. Pay close attention to the measurement markings. One side is usually in millimeters, while the other one is in inches. This allows you to work with both European and American specifications when setting up your bow. There are two main variants. While they serve the same purpose, the difference lies primarily in their shape and ease of use for your specific bow type. The T-type has a measuring arm centered between two clamps, forming a T-shape. This provides a very stable and symmetrical reference. For that reason, it's most commonly used by recurve, barebow and traditional archers. The T-type is ideal for measuring tiller, nocking point height and brace height. The L-type positions the measuring arm to one side, creating an open angle. Functionally, it does the same measurements, but practically, it's often preferred by compound archers, because compound setups include string-mounted components like D-loops and peep sights. The open geometry gives you more clearance and better access around those components. The measuring arm can run cleanly along the string without the clamps interfering. So the difference isn't capability, it's ergonomics and workflow. Now let's move into the actual measurements. We'll start with brace height. Brace height is the distance from the string to the pivot point of the grip. From a tuning perspective, what matters most is consistency. It must stay within the manufacturer's recommended range, but more importantly, it must remain repeatable. Changes in string length, twist count or creep will affect brace height, and that changes bow behavior. Now we will show you how to measure the brace height. Make sure the bow is properly strung. Place the short, perpendicular end of the square against the pivot point. Let the measuring arm extend toward the string. Keep it straight and read the measurement where the string crosses the scale. Slide it slightly up and down. The shortest distance is your true brace height. We'll cover how brace height affects dynamic reaction, speed and forgiveness in a separate deep dive video. Next, we use the bow square to measure tiller. Tiller is the difference between the distance from the string to the upper limb and the string to the lower limb, measured at the limb riser junction. From a mechanical standpoint, tiller compensates for unequal loading caused by grip position and finger pressure. Proper tiller ensures balanced limb timing at release. You can measure tiller like this. Measure from the string to the upper limb where it exits the riser. Repeat the same measurement at the lower limb. Subtract the two values. For recurve, a common starting point is +3 to +6 mm positive tiller, meaning the upper measurement is greater than the lower. For modern barebow setups, especially with string walking, 0 or even negative tiller is often preferred. Next, we'll use the bow square to determine and confirm your nocking point position. Your nocking point controls initial arrow launch angle and vertical tuning behavior. You can measure the nock point height as follows. Clip the square onto the string. Place the measuring arm lightly on the arrow rest without applying pressure. You now have a true 90-degree reference from the string. From that square reference, you set your nocking point, typically slightly above level. We'll cover this in more detail in a separate video. For compound archers, the L-type becomes especially valuable because it lets you measure key setup points very precisely. Let's go over the two most common measurements. First, D-loop length. By placing the square between the knots of your D-loop, you can easily check its length. Second, peep sight position. Measure from the nocking point to the center of your peep sight. The open design of the L-type works especially well here, as you can guide the measuring arm cleanly along the string without the clamps interfering. This ensures that when you install a new string, you always know exactly where your peep sight should be positioned and how long your D-loop needs to be. Whether you use a T-type for your recurve or an L-type for your compound bow, measuring is knowing. We hope this video has helped you better understand how to use a bow square. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or send us an email. Good luck with your tuning and see you next time.